and I want to say hi to all Team Expansion worldwide. First of all, you guys are very dear to my heart, both of you. You know, it was we had such an amazing time together when I went to Durban and going to the Sharks Park. I forgot the name, and meeting your, you know, your daughter and your lovely family. I mean, you two are such amazing souls, and I'm grateful that you are organizing these calls because I know it's creating a lot of impact. And also, obviously, I'm very connected to Africa. I've been there 2 times as a trainer. I have so many friends there, and honestly, I have all the respect in the world for, especially for what you guys have been doing for the last 2-3 years. Obviously, for the last 7-8 years, but in the last 2-3 years, you are really setting an example for people from all around the world. I mean, all the WorldVentures leadership is looking at what's happening right now and for the last couple of years in Africa. So I bow to you, and it's an honor to be here today with all of you guys. Thank you.
Honor's ours. Thank you, Razvan.
So Razvan, you know, just for the brand new people on this call that didn't have the privilege of meeting you before, you know, going from construction to gym industry into the travel space is a complete paradigm shift. So don't you just want to share your story? I know Andrew and I have heard your story before, but a lot of people on the call, and we've got almost 400 people on the call, just share your journey and your story with them quickly.
Sure. Well, first of all, I'm coming from a very small city, and you know, Romania, it's an ex-communist country. Imagine that for 50 years of communism, people were not allowed to travel outside Romania or to be entrepreneurs. It was illegal in the communist regime. So you can imagine the kind of mindset I received from my parents, which I love. I love them with all my heart. But, you know, they told me, you know, go to school, get good grades, and the government will give you a job, because this is what was happening. So I was kind of a rebel since I was a kid. By the way, we didn't even have television for my first years of life. The television was only one channel, and it was controlled by the government. But then when television came to Romania, I was a few years old, and I started watching Discovery Channel and all these places around the world. I was saying, like, I don't know what I want to do, but I want to see the world. I want to go to Africa. I want to go to Hawaii, to Bora Bora. So I think I kind of projected my life even since I was a kid without having any connection, obviously, to personal development. So when I was 15, I lost my dad, which was a big hit for me. But in the same time, you know, he was such an amazing, beautiful soul, and I love him with all my heart. I know he's in another dimension, but he's also here with us. And that's when I realized 2 things. First of all, is that life is precious and it's fragile. And if something coronavirus taught us, all of us, is that we need to treasure life. I mean, honestly, we don't know what's going on in 1 week, in 1 month, in 5 years, or in 20 years, right? So we should treasure life more. And the other thing that I learned from him is that we don't carry with us, you know, cars, houses, and obviously they're awesome. It's great to have them, and it's, you know, they make your life easier. But in the same time, we take with us the memories created, and also the impact we had in people's lives. So I guess I kind of wanted to do something that is meaningful. So I moved to Bucharest when I was 19 years old, going to university. I went to Bucharest with $100 from my grandparents' pension. So if you have financial challenges, trust me, I understand 100%. I know how to live with €100 a month. But in the same time, you know, I believe that God or nature or the universe or whatever forces you believe in, or law of attraction, you know, he sends us the right people if we're hungry and ambitious to do something meaningful with our lives. So anyway, I started as an entrepreneur when I was 19 years old. Like Andrew was saying, I started in a few businesses. I had an import and distribution company, then a construction company, then a gym. And when I was 24 years old, I discovered the industry of network marketing, and I just fell in love with it. You know, the idea of building teams, building organizations, helping other people. It was something that was resonating with me with all my heart. So I had 2 years previous in another network marketing company where I learned a lot of things. But unfortunately, some unethical things happened there, and I realized that actually people follow people, and people are the ones that build a company but also destroy a company. And that's when I moved out of network marketing. I would say I will never do network marketing again. So about 6 years ago, I received a phone call from my actual business partner. Her name is Jeda. She's a hairstylist in Romania, very well known. Both of you are friends with her, actually. And she told me, Razvan, I found this amazing idea. It's travel, it's network marketing. And for 3 months, I didn't want to even see it. When I heard network marketing, I was like a cat, like, shh, stay away from me. But then after 3 months of insisting, she just made a very human and honest invitation, which I also recommend to all of you. You know, be human. Live beyond techniques. I mean, they're awesome, they're great, but connect with people from heart to heart, because they, you know, it's another different report that people are looking for. So anyway, I went to a meeting. I saw WorldVentures. I fell in love the moment I saw WorldVentures, and then everything is history. It has been the most beautiful. The most beautiful 6 years of my life by far, from everything that brought to me.
Awesome.
So this is a shift, let's say, from a traditional entrepreneur to network marketing.
Brilliant, brilliant. Now, you mentioned something in your story now. You mentioned about some unethical behavior on network marketing. So let's hone in on that right now. I want to ask you a question. Romania, like South Africa, have experienced scams in your market, a lot of negative press clippings, a lot of media hate.
Right.
Well, we've had exactly the same thing here. Massive adversity in terms of that. But how did you shut off all that noise and all that negativity and still manage to focus on building your business through all of that?
Well, there are multiple ways. So first of all, it's about creating something that really works, so people see the results, and becoming as visible as possible, if you want to call it like that. So we managed to attract amazing leaders around us, which I'm very grateful for. But we started becoming visible. I mean, we started doing events, doing parties. We also got involved some people that were well known in the media, so they wouldn't have got involved if it wouldn't be something okay. So I guess we created a lot of positive PR, and we made it cool to be part of Dream Trips in Romania from the beginning. So we had about 30,000 members joining in the last couple of years just from Romania. So I guess it's about, trying to build something positive to replace the negative. Actually, it's like life, not just in WorldVentures. And then, it's the one-on-one discussions that you have to people, because you'll get this negativity anyway, right? And you'll find on Google all kinds of crap about WorldVentures in South Africa and all around the world. So I guess it's just like the personal influence that you have over people. And in the same time, I'm always showing people. So sometimes I'm telling like, look, you'll find things on Google. I mean, you'll have people that don't like us from the press, from, ex-members, or actually some people that are not even in WorldVentures, but they are attacking us publicly. And, everyone, I mean, I don't judge that. Everyone has his own opinion. If you go on the forums about iPhone or Samsung, most of them are negative. I mean, you would never buy an iPhone or a Samsung if you watch the forums, right? Because the people that are happy about them, they don't write on forums. They're just happy about it, right? And I'm just explaining, like, look, this side exists also, so I'm not trying to hide. Because when you try to hide something from people, they're like, you are trying to manipulate me. Now, so I'm saying, like, look, this is there. I mean, it's there. But in the same time, this is also here. I'm talking about the company, and I'm showing them that you should be here. Channel on YouTube or on Instagram, the YSBH program, and I'm showing them the links about the company and the World Travel Awards. And I'm like, look, like, you have this, but you have also this. I mean, it depends on which one you want to choose. I'm here, I have these experiences. Look at these people, look at our testimonials. We also created in Romania something that is helpful. We created a group, a Facebook group, where there are over 20,000 people, and they're just testimonials from travels. Like people that travel, they are sharing experiences and different prices and discounts. And I guess that's also a very useful tool. But to summarize it, at the end of the day, people that don't want to join, they'll still want to join. And people that do want to join, they will still feel it, So we do what we can do. But I do believe that, and something I mentioned in the last calls I did all around the world, is that I do think that we can start working locally on some positive PR with local newspapers and blogs. And I recommend also you guys in your countries, in South Africa, to do a similar thing. Just open YouTube channels with Dream Trip South Africa, or blogs, or all kinds of things that can, because how Google is working, the search engine optimization. If a lot of people click on a link, unfortunately, it goes up in the first page, so that's why we see a lot of negative things. So what we all need to do globally, and it cannot be done by WorldVentures from corporate, we need to do it country by country, is to fill Google with positive things. And they don't cost us almost anything, some blogs, some things where people can write, and then ask the members to type, to click on those links so they can move to the first page. So actually, I've been working on this for the last 6 months, and we started getting some traction. So I try to summarize your question. And
the truth is good enough. Thank you.
Razvan, you gave me an idea that I'm super passionate about. So look out for WorldVentures Dream Trip South Africa blog coming soon.
You just gave us a nugget.
That's my game. Absolutely love it. So Razvan, we were so blown away when we came to a travel party with you, because you guys are so social. And I love the way you said you want to share it with people and show how cool it is to be part of our community. So I know you guys do big parties, you do dream trips together, you have presentations in DT locals and nightclubs, and you really make it fun. Now, how has your business model changed now? Because your team is very sociable, and now with the COVID, you've obviously had to change the way you're doing it. What is your online strategy now during this period?
Yeah, that's a great question, Sally. So obviously we moved 100% of the business online, like all of us.
Yeah.
And we were very creative. And actually right now, I'm the messenger, but it was a group of people that, worked together to create what I'm sharing with you right now. But one of the things that we realized that it will keep people united, because everyone is watching, Netflix and series, and especially at the beginning of COVID, everyone was home. So we created a Dreamflix. So the combination between Dream Trips and Netflix. So the Dream Trips was a 1 hour series a day where we had one of the marketing directors and above sharing their stories, and some skills or anything related to the business, basically. And it was awesome. I mean, we had hundreds and hundreds of people every day, and that's why we kept people connected. It was happening at about 3 p.m. every day for the first couple of weeks since COVID. Then we created a concept called the coffee break, which was done. So the Netflix was general, for the whole teams. The coffee breaks, because there are so many teams, was done mostly by marketing directors with their own teams or directors with their own teams. It depends. So I was meeting 2 times a week, for example, with my smaller teams, but I had people that were meeting every day. So it depends on how you want to do it. But it was like 1 hour where people were adding the new members and welcoming them officially, to meet each other. And it was like a social thing, but moved online. And then also recognizing new ranks in the small teams, sorry. And the last thing, we were giving phone calls together, which had a huge impact. I mean, we're saying like, look guys, we're sharing some inviting skills. And then for 15 minutes, okay, we all leave our cameras open, close our microphones and start giving WhatsApp calls and, WhatsApp messages and phone calls. And, even people that wouldn't normally do it, they got engaged. It's like, yeah, I got 5 people and I'm having them in a presentation. So we kind of kept the energy up with this strategy. And then we had daily presentations. To be honest, from my experience now, we had too many of them. We had like 5. Actually, it's never too many, it's never too many. I mean, the people that want to enter. But we had like 5, 6 a day, but they were live every hour. We have one presentation, and some people joined, some people didn't join. But for sure, it created I can say for this period, even a momentum, right? Because there are so many hundreds of people that joined in the last couple of weeks. So we had 5 presentations. Right now, we have just 2. At 7 and at 9 every day, which is still keeping, the social environment. And obviously there are lots of home parties like I know you guys are doing, but they're on Zoom, where if someone signs up, he invites his first 5, 7 friends and he does a meeting personally with his sponsor, his upline. So this kind of how the system looks right now. We have some fast start trainings 2 times a week. And this is it, basically. I want to highlight a country, which, obviously there are so many countries that are doing great, but I want to highlight Italy. Because they have been the most affected by coronavirus. It's crazy what happened there. All of you know about the situation. And Italy had the biggest momentum in Europe in the last 2 months. It's crazy. I mean, they have almost a new IMD, 1 or 2 RMDs. I don't know how many marketing directors, tens of senior reps and directors in the last 2 months. And it's crazy considering the situation.
Well, Razvan, we were very privileged to get Alessandro on 2 weeks ago, and he obviously shared with us his story and his momentum, and it was crazy the cycles that they blasted out on that week.
Yeah.
And we obviously waiting to celebrate him hitting IMD. So very excited.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Right, yes, absolutely. Now, you've actually given me a lot of takeaways just from that question that you just gave us. So thanks so much. I know now, listening to what you said, we're on the right track. Razvan, I want to ask you, when we were chatting and I was observing on the dream trips, every time now and again, they drop a lot of trips on our social media. And I paid particular interest to one that came up, and that's why I thought I'll pose this question to you. You were one of the first IMDs that I'm aware of that put a dream trip together that was themed around your passion for health, wellness, meditation. And what I wanted to do is I wanted to ask you about that because, first of all, what is the importance of a member taking a dream trip? especially for the new members that have just joined that haven't actually taken one. So the importance of taking a dream trip. And the second thing I want to ask you is what actually inspired you to put that trip together where you were actually one of the IMDs on that trip specifically?
Right. So first of all, once you go in a dream trip, you get in love. I mean, it's not a coincidence that most of the people that go in a dream trip, they stay members for years, because it's completely different. It's usually, if you make a reservation, it's you buy your hotel, you buy a flight, which you can also do on our booking engine. Which why now, as a side note, it's amazing. I mean, the Dream Trip Rewards platform is working amazingly. But then, the dream trips are different because of the way they're organized. You have hosts, you have the activities, there are some of the best properties in the world, but then it's again the human connection. You meet members from around the world and make friends. Like you guys came to Romania and you came with so many people, and it's like a social, cultural bonding that you cannot find anywhere else. And I just love this culture. So obviously right now we weren't able to travel. I had a few dream trips only for this COVID situation. I had to cancel them in the last 2 months. But I've been in, I don't know how many, I lost track for sure. I have something close to 100 dream trips, I think, in the last 6 years and something. And they're just mind blowing. And I recommend you with all my heart, once this lockdown is over, go in a dream trip as soon as possible. Find a local one in your own countries. Now, regarding the trip that you mentioned, I mean, I've always been passionate about wellness, and at some point I started having a very powerful spiritual journey of my own, like we all have, but I let's say I gave a lot of energy on this and focus. And there were lots of people during the events that were asking me, Razvan, it's awesome what we do in WorldVentures, but they were asking me life questions. And I realized that, in a region or in a fast start training, I cannot share that. So I said, how can I impact? How can I create more value? So I said, let's organize a dream trip that is combined with a camp, where we can talk about, food and meditation and health and the right mindset that you have. And I'm not just saying the right mindset for business, right? Because obviously we're masters of that. We have the most amazing personal development and a leadership training system in the world. But I mean, some of the things that we're not able to discuss in an international event. And I worked with George, which is, the manager of Rovia for Europe and Africa. And he was like, let's do it. So we had the first one last year and it was sold out in 2-3 weeks. Oh. And actually we're having another one this year, also in Romania. And, I'm just doing something I love and I'm passionate about. But I know that all of us, we have our own gifts, So I do feel that through the evolution of WorldVentures, we need to have more influencer trips. And actually this is how George calls the program, where there are trips led by IMDs, or not, they can even be marketing directors led trips, or RMDs or IMDs, but people that, they have certain gifts that they can share with those people. I mean, they can be trips, for example, Chris Santos did a trip for photography and Instagram, where he's teaching people to, how to, he's amazing in, I forgot the name of the program, where you can, modify a picture and make it look well and stuff like that. And I think the impact is huge. So that's how the idea was created. How can I impact more? And it's a question that is always in my heart. And I think we all have it. If you think about how can I impact more, the question attracts the answer.
I have no doubt that you added such value on that trip. I wish I was there.
Photoshop. Thank you, my dear friend Nisa. Photoshop, right? And there is another program, but anyway. Yeah.
So obviously, Razvan, we would love to come on that trip. So I'm going to be looking out for that link before it gets sold out. So, Razvan, right now, people are panicking. People are fearful of the unknown. We've never, ever been in this situation that the world has ever seen. And what would you say to people? We've got that tagline, why the time is now. What does that mean for you in terms of your business right now?
Sure. Well, it's about increasing your awareness and your consciousness regarding to what's happening worldwide. And obviously this coronavirus has its impact on humanity, physically, economically. So we have to be aware. I mean, you cannot put your head in sand like an ostrich, right? You have to be aware about what's going on. And obviously a lot of people are losing their jobs and are losing their businesses. I mean, my business partner, for example, Jet, that I was telling you about, she owns one of the biggest chains of luxury salons in Romania. I mean, the big malls, she's everywhere. And she's very famous. She had her TV show. And imagine that obviously due to COVID, she closed, or her salons, and the shopping malls are closed, and all the employees are home. So imagine how many entrepreneurs are really like desperate right now to do something, and to keep their businesses and to have an income, right? And in the same time, so many people, millions around the world, are losing their jobs. So obviously, what was working until COVID will not be working in the next couple of months, which means that people will be looking for solutions. So I do believe with all my heart, and I'm an ambassador of network marketing, and especially of WorldVentures, because I believe it's the easiest way to do something, and to do something from your phone online. I mean, if you think about it, what can you start in this period? If you want to start a business, you need money, you know how, you need to take into consideration, logistics and marketing and finance and legal and all these things, which first of all, even if it wouldn't be for coronavirus, I mean, most of the people just are not willing to invest the time and energy to learn these things. I know that you guys are entrepreneurs, and you were successful before WorldVentures, but that's why 90% of the business would have failed anyway outside coronavirus. But especially now, obviously, it's even harder. So I'm not saying if people have great ideas, I mean, go out there and make them happen. But for people that don't have an amazing idea, don't have an amazing product or service that they created on their own, I mean, it's the easiest way, to join our company. It's $25, let's say the lowest subscription of silver. If you want to access gold, platinum, or titanium, obviously they're not more valuable as memberships, and it's a $50 subscription for the business also. So it's, if you consider silver and business is less than $100, I mean, come on, what can you start from your house with $100? I mean, it's an amazing opportunity. So obviously WorldVentures is not for everyone, and the more I'm doing it, I'm aware of it. But what is the risk actually, right? It's almost no risk. You started something and you see where it can take you. But there are so many people like myself and like you guys and like so many people in Africa and around the world that have succeeded with WorldVentures. Some of them at a low level, some of them at a medium level, some of them at a higher level. But it's enough room for everyone. And right now, regarding to your asking why the time is now, because we have a window of frame where, first of all, people are home, right? Because we had all the time, calling people, I mean, I'm busy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I mean, most of them are home right now, so you have them in their own houses, which is unique. And hopefully it will be the last time in human history when we will experience this, right? Then they're more open because, they look what's happening all around them and they say, like, look, let me at least see what's going on, right? So they're more open. Third of all, they have more time to invest in this, right? Because they're home and they have more time. So there are three factors. And last but not least, I do believe that this is the perfect moment to attract, let's say, high profile people. Why? Because normally not all of them, but many of them wouldn't be open. I mean, you guys are an exception, right? But a lot of people that, they already have their own businesses, they're successful there. Usually, not all of them again, but many of them are not watching left and right. They're just focused on what they're doing. But right now they are open, right? And they are fearful, and we have a solution. So I do believe that it's the right time to attract all kinds of people, but also high profile people in this business. And I just have a story. I just signed up to a guy 2 weeks ago. I was a speaker at an event and he saw my presentation and he joined immediately. And he's almost a senior rep in 2 weeks, and I know you guys have a lot of stories. I'm seeing Sachin posting all the time, and I have so much respect. But he's, he was a top entrepreneur. He's also a business coach, one of the best in Romania. And yeah, Bodo, I see someone wrote there. And usually people like him wouldn't be open. He found out about WorldVentures without exaggeration 3 years before I did. We were the first ones in Romania that found out about the company. And he said, no, that's in 2012. He got an email. And then he's, without exaggeration, he told me he was approached at least 50 times for friends that were in WorldVentures for the last 6 years since we started building in Romania. So he didn't even want to hear. Actually, he was like, I will kill you if you tell me about WorldVentures, But because of this moment, right, he was open, and he signed up and he's building a great team. So it's the right time to attract people like this. And that's why I believe, Sally, the time is now. Right? We moved the business online, we adapted, we have the system, we have the presentations, we have the perfect membership strategy right now, right? With all the 4 memberships, silver, gold, platinum, and titanium. It's the most balanced policy we ever have. The compensation plan is amazing. Right now the cycles are 50% more, so you make more money. I mean, all the right factors to do it. The only factor that is variable here is yourself, and how much are you willing to get involved in this period.
Absolutely. I want to follow on to what you just spoke about now, because this kind of ties into what you were chatting about. Now, of all the IMDs that I've observed, I would say that you've got a natural gift of balancing your life. It's hard for me to explain it, but from witnessing what you do, that's exactly how I've interpreted it. For members on this call who right now, with everything that's going on, they might be anxious, they might be highly stressed out, they might be unsettled within themselves and their business, they might be nervous about what's going on, or maybe even the uncertainty, like Sally said, with regards to talks of a recession around the world. What advice would you give that person to help them to stay anchored and aligned with their why as well as their purpose? Because I mean, let's face it, people have kind of gone off the line because of all this noise that's going on.
Right. Well, first of all, we are energy, all of us, you know, and we don't have a lot of time to go in this, but one of the great books I recommend you is a book called, written by Dr. David Hawkins. It's called Power versus Force. For me, it's one of the most powerful books I read. And it talks about the evolution of human consciousness from the lowest level, like I want to kill myself, life has no point anymore, I hate God, I hate everyone, and to the last level of illumination, like you would call like Jesus, Buddha, and all kinds of people that became great sages and masters of of spirituality around the world. So it basically describes what is happening to people and how they raise or how they decrease their vibration. So we're in a period where a lot of people, unfortunately, they go in very low vibrations, because if you hear what's going on in the media and you see so many people dying, and there is so much pressure and so much scarcity and fear, and so one of the things you need to be aware of is that's affecting you. And I promise you, if you're not aware of that, it doesn't matter if you are an IMD or if you are Mark or if you are a sage or if you are Jesus, I promise you it will affect you. It's impossible not to feel that pressure and that energy. So I'm not saying not to know the most important things that you should know. I mean, it's important to know about the rules. For example, we had a lockdown, so you need to know the rules of the lockdown. You cannot go out after 10 p.m., for example, in Romania. So that is important for me to know, because otherwise they can be arrested or, pay a huge fee. But other than that, I mean, I would stay away as much as possible from the pressure. I mean, find out the really important information, but stay away from media, stay away from all that negativity that is coming to you, because it will affect you, okay? That's thing number one. Thing number two, I mean, always feed your mind, and that this is even outside this period, but especially in this period. Build your mindset, build your spirit, build your heart in this period. Actually, it's the best time to do the business, but in the same time work on yourself. I mean, read something every day, watch a motivational video, hear something from the Ignition Kit or Advantage or all these amazing programs you have. I mean, do something that keeps you focused. You need to be like a sniper that is focused, or like a lion. When I came to Africa, I was in a safari, and you watch the lions, and if you watch on the Discovery Channel, they stay like this for tens of minutes waiting for the prey. They're like laser focused, So you need to have that laser focus of a lion to your goals, whichever goals they are. The book is, I will write it here. So it's Power versus Force by Dr. David Hawkins. It's one of the best books out there. So anyway, to get back to what I was saying, stay away from negativity, feed yourself, feed your mind, feed your heart with positive information. And last but not least, keep your vision board, whatever that is, stay focused on your goals, on your dreams. I mean, it's so easy, especially when you are hit, and right now the whole world is hit, but we all had our own coronaviruses in our lives, right? Before that, we lost people, or we were affected in business, in life, in friendships, and it's normal, it's part of life. Right now it's a general thing, but we all had moments like this, and they have been in the past, and they will be in the future also. So this is the when it's good, it's very easy to stay focused and positive, right? But when you get hit, that's when it's very easy to get distracted and forget about your goals and dreams. So this is the time, to write down again, what do you expect out of life? How do you want to live your life after this whole lockdown is over? Where do you want to travel? What kind of people you want to have around you? What kind of money you want to have? Where do you want to invest? How much do you want to help? I mean, create that portrait of you, that image, that projection of your life, and stay loyal to that projection. If you want to stay loyal to something in your life, stay loyal to yourself, to your soul, and to your goals and dreams. Okay? Because otherwise you will never have a fulfilled life. And again, something coronavirus is teaching us is that It doesn't matter just to survive, you know, but to thrive in this life. I mean, you don't want to be 70, 80, 90, whatever, 100 years old, and you realize that maybe you have one day more to live, and to have all these regrets on how your life could have been on, or all the amazing things you could have done. So this is the right moment to reestablish everything that is important to you.
I love the message there. You kept talking about feeding your frequency. So that's the nugget that I got out of that. Thanks.
So Razvan, before we go into our last two questions, can you just type in the chat bar? I see a lot of people are asking for the book and the author. If you wouldn't mind.
Sure. I saw that someone wrote, I saw earlier, David Hawkins, Power versus Force. I saw something writing earlier. Someone, sorry.
Awesome. So Razvan, you are an incredible international trainer. You know, boot camp training in Europe is coming up. Boot camp is coming up for Africa and for the entire world. And obviously, you know, it's going to be streamed online. So it's going to be very exciting for all of us. Razvan, are you still there?
Yes, I'm writing the name of the book, but I was listening to you. Okay. I wrote it again, so I'm sure that people got it. Yeah, I was listening about bootcamp, sure.
Yeah, so I just want you to let people know. I know that some people probably haven't booked their online ticket because they're going to think that they can get it later. And I want to let everybody know on this call that we are also limited to the number of people that we can have online. So Razvan, what is your message to people why they need to go and buy their bootcamp ticket now to be on that training call for Bootcamp 2020?
Sure. Well, let's talk again about the relationship with the universe, if we got here. Because obviously we plant seeds in the universe. And it doesn't matter if you believe in the law of attraction or not, you are influenced by the laws of this universe. And the more you are aware about them, the more, you know, they will influence you in a positive or negative way. So what I'm saying that when you don't have the ticket, right? When you don't have the ticket to the event, just think about it. And I don't have to tell you this, but you have to answer to yourself. I mean, what kind of message are you sending to the universe regarding your commitment to be successful in WorldVentures and to really become a professional networker to what we do? Because the universe will send you exactly what you are saying to him, right? So when you book, I mean, as a leader, you know, you book your ticket. I mean, I know it's an effort, and especially right now, and there are so many people that have financial challenges, and I don't want you to think I'm cocky or arrogant. I mean, I really feel your pain, but in the same time, you have to understand, I'm the kind of person that borrow money to go to events. I'm the kind of person that had moments when he was putting for €1 gas in his car, and from €1 he was buying something to eat, but was doing 8-9 meetings a day, you know, to do something, and also loaning money to go to events or to buy a book. You know, I had moments when, you know, it was financially difficult to buy a book, you know, which is like €5-7. So I'm not saying this as an IMD that is successful and, you know, has a, you know, financial stability right now. I'm talking to you like someone that understands your pain and understands maybe the reasons why you haven't bought your ticket, okay? But I also want you to understand that if you want to change that financial situation, you have to be committed, you know? And if you really realize that WorldVentures is your path, WorldVentures is, you know, a vehicle for you to change that, I mean, buy the ticket, you know, be the first one that buys the ticket. You know, all the time, I mean, leaders buy their future events from their previous events, right? So if the event is finished, you buy the ticket to the next event. This way, first of all, you are showing the universe, like I said, that you are committed to your goals and dreams. Second of all, you are giving an example to your team. And if you have a team, I mean, it's obvious your team will do what you do, right? It's a duplication concept. But other than that, even if you don't have a team yet, whatever you do, it duplicates anyway. So if you will have a team, and let's say you will sign up people in the next couple of months, you won't have, again, it's vibration here. So when you know that you have your ticket done and you know you have a few weeks until you have the event, you know that you want to do everything in your power to have people be influenced in the same way, to come to this event. And you know the value that the events bring in WorldVentures. Actually, I will mention a little bit about it also. But if you don't have your ticket, I mean, what can you share with people? I have an amazing opportunity. I even haven't have my ticket, but I think we can be very successful. I mean, and it doesn't matter. Some of you, no, Razvan, you think I'm stupid. I will never say that. You don't have to say that. They feel it. Trust me. It's not about your words. It's about the energy. It's about the attitude. It's about everything that surrounds you. Again, there are some laws that you cannot see them, just like gravity, but people feel them, right? And then regarding WorldVentures, and honestly, guys, with all my heart, we have the most amazing training for network marketing, personal development, and leadership system that I have ever seen. And I've been, to Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, Bob Proctor, Robin Sharma. I've been to most of the well-known trainers, and they're awesome in what they do, right? But none of them are able to teach you how to become a professional networker or an IMD in WorldVentures. I mean, the people that can teach you these things are the people that have done it, right? And we have such an amazing line for you guys in South Africa. I know that you'll have amazing leaders and trainers there. So get connected. And I'm not just talking for this event. I mean, for all the events that will happen from now on. I've attended, actually, bootcamp was my first event, Sally, Andrew. It happened in 2014. And luckily, I knew that events help us build the organization. So I went there with about 20 people. And my first event, I was enrolled for about 1.5 months in WorldVentures to 2 months. And I couldn't stop the growth in my organization after that event. Even if I wanted, I couldn't stop it anymore, because from 20 people, it didn't matter if I did it or not. They saw the vision and they would have done it anyway. So we hit director after 1 month. Then at the next event, we went marketing directors. We had about 60 people at the next event. It was View from the Edge. Then at the next event, we went regional marketing directors. We had about 100 people. Then at the next event, it was again boot camp. After 1 year, we went there as national marketing directors, and we had about 150, 200 people. And also, we have already won $100,000 in our first year of WorldVentures. And then at the next event, we were IMDs, and it was back then the fastest rank in Europe. So it was due to obviously a lot of factors, but it was due to us bringing lots of people to events, obviously. Because when people came to the events, they saw the value of the project. They met Wayne, they met Eddie, our president, our founder, Marcus, our amazing director of training, leaders from around the world. So what I was saying to them, what you're saying to people can influence them at a level, bigger or smaller, okay? But when they see it, right, the level of influence becomes a lot bigger. So promote like crazy this event you have, bootcamp. And I know that a lot of people will do it and a lot of people will not do it. I don't know which side you'll be on, but I know that the ones that will do it are the ones that will take the biggest shares of the African market, right? Because this is how it works.
Absolutely. You've got such amazing energy and you've got a lot to give. We've never done this before, and I've actually just thought about it right now. Would you mind if we open the lines up right now and ask people just to type one question, and at the end, would you mind just picking one question out of almost 500 people, and that lucky person will get that question answered? Is that cool?
Sure, of course.
Awesome. Okay, guys. So before we close with the last two questions, if you've got a question for Razvan right now, won't you type it into the Q&A bar? And at the end, Razvan will pick one of them. So guys, first come, first serve, get in there and start typing. So while they're busy doing that, Razvan, I want to close off on my last question of the day. And Sally and I witnessed this. And when we came back from Romania, we were like so blown away with the team culture that you guys have created. Now, I know at the moment it's a bit of a problem with the corona. We're all locked down. But coming out of this, we're going to go traveling. You're going to get back to your normal culture. And that culture is you guys take dream trips together. You guys fellowship together. You hang out at DT locals. You have fun together. You eat together. You break bread together. You've just created an amazing, amazing vibe that you have within your team. And I just wanted to ask you, for people on this call that haven't experienced that as yet, can you just explain in your own words, why teams that play together stay together?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we have to be aware that obviously we have an amazing platform, an amazing travel platform, and we have an amazing compensation plan and an amazing training system. And these are some of the reasons why we managed to build all this beautiful community in WorldVentures. But actually, the real value of WorldVentures is not our platform, is the people, right? And all of you, I'm grateful. And I want to thank you for trusting WorldVentures. Although we're not living in the same countries, I mean, I'm grateful to you because we're all part of something very unique and very special. And I'm in love with what's happening in WorldVentures. And I have never seen it anywhere. I mean, I saw lots of companies, lots of organizations. Some of them I watched, some of them I've been part of. And the energy of this company is truly unique and special. So because it's about people and because it's social, I mean, I do believe that when people come together in this project, they're not just traveling together, but they're becoming better human beings. They're building relationships. They're creating bonds. They are you know, there were moments when the product was not awesome in WorldVentures. When we started, for example, you know, the app, we didn't have an app. We didn't have any dream trips in Romania, like zero. We didn't have so many trips in Europe. We had just a few of them, right? So that's when this whole culture that you were mentioning, Andrew, happened, because we realized that if we didn't have, I mean, it was happening in, you know, the company was investing money to build all this infrastructure that we have right now. And obviously we are the worst that will ever be in WorldVentures. We'll get better and better in Africa and all around the world. But in those moments, because we didn't have a product, we had to build this community. It was actually like the only thing we had. So that's why I really believe in my heart that beyond the business, it's important also to get people connected together and do parties and, you know, go to the dream trees together and allow people to have fun, to make friends. Because actually, this is one of the things that will keep them in. And I have people that, for example, unfortunately have signed out from WorldVentures like 2-3 years ago. But I'm still friends with them. And I say, my brother, like, if there is something I miss the people and I miss the energy, you know? So, do that more, you know. Obviously right now in the lockdown, be creative. We created Dreamflix. You can create other things, right, in your own markets. And I'm not talking to you two, I'm talking to everyone. One of the things we did, we had Octavian is a top IMD. Actually, he's in the top 5 cyclers of the world right now. It's crazy what's going on in his organization. He's a international marketing director, 70-80 cycles a week. Anyway, they're very close to double IMD. But it was his birthday, right, 2 weeks ago. And we did a surprise birthday party, let's say, for him, where someone invited him. We had no idea. And we were like 200-300 people. And we all sing to him, happy birthday. You know, I have a piano. I just bought a piano, actually. And we sang on the piano. And it was beautiful. It was like we were, you know, together and having fun and singing. And it's, you know, it's about human relationships. And if there is something, because obviously we all had challenges in this business, like we have challenges in many areas of our lives, but I do believe that relationships that are being built here are the most important things that we have in WorldVentures. So treasure them, you know, and find ways to bring people together more.
Brilliant.
I think this is WorldVentures, actually.
It
Yeah.
is.
Absolutely.
It is. So Razvan, before I close off with my final question for you, if you just want to go through, there's about 6 or 7 questions. You pick one.
Sure, there's some good ones there.
And there's some nice ones, and I'm sure one of them is.
How much time we have?
It's up to you.
No curfew.
Okay, so maybe is it okay if I give like 5-7 minutes?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, I can answer 2. You said 1 actually, right?
It's up to you.
Up to you. Whatever's touching your heart tonight. Entirely up to you.
Okay, cool. I will answer to. Yeah. Okay. I want to share as much as I can. Please.
Thank you.
You want me to read them, or you want me to read them, right?
You just want to scroll through and just see which ones you want to
answer.
answer.
I can read it and answer it.
1 second, please.
So
let me turn the chat. When are you coming back to Cape Town? I don't know. I cannot wait. How do I find my why? In your heart. That's a very simple thing and also very profound. Don't take it simple. It's the most profound thing I can say to you. How do you find my why? How do I find my motivation? In your heart all the time. Ask your heart, what's the path? What's your schedule? I kind of mentioned my schedule. Can you give your opinion on the book, Breaking the Habit of Yourself, Joe Dispenza? I mean, I love Joe. It's a long discussion, but I love Joe Dispenza and his work. And, you know, he's one of the greatest teachers I consider right now on the planet. Which strategy do you use to follow up prospects? It's a human strategy. I mean, if I connect with someone, I'm just asking them in a very open way. I mean, look, I know this pandemic is affecting people around the world. I'm developing a project that I believe can be a great opportunity for people. So are you open to take a look and see what I'm doing? If they say yes, it's awesome. If they say no, it's awesome. Aranna says that she spoke to lots of people that lost their jobs and even $25 is too much for them. Should I pursue prospects like that? Like, of course. I personally had to borrow money to join WorldVentures. And there are so many people from all around the world that borrowed money to come in WorldVentures. Of course, it's don't prejudge, guys. I mean, don't be God. Don't play with who needs to find out about WorldVentures or not. Just talk to everyone. You know, you never know what's in someone's heart or in someone's soul or in someone's bank account and what he's looking for. You might be his savior, you know, in these moments with WorldVentures. When is the perfect way to reach out and win cold market on social media platform, especially when the warm market got out? I mean, just be human, guys. Again, I mean, I'm just trying to have the most human approach I can have. I always compliment people. For example, if I see Andrew and Sally, which I obviously know, but let's say I wouldn't know them, but I see they're successful, they have their own businesses, I'm just having a human approach. I mean, hi Sally, hey Andrew, I know we don't know each other personally, but I've been watching your profiles. I feel you have an amazing family, and I just kind of felt the need to get connected to you guys. So how are you? How is this pandemic affecting you? You know, I just be human. You don't have to say my words, you know, but just open a conversation. And obviously, if people are open, they will answer. If they're not open, they will not answer. And then when they're open, you know, after you exchange some, you know, you have a conversation with them, just like the same thing I asked, like, look, I'm developing a project right now around the world. I know there are lots of people being affected. Are you open to take a look and see what I'm doing? Again, if they say yes, it's awesome. If they say no, it's awesome also. What visualization, thoughts, energy, and habits took you to IMD? You know, the visualization of being an IMD, right? And all the impact that this will have in my life and in other lives. Thoughts, I mean, it's about what I said earlier, just being very aware of the negative thoughts that appear in our mind. Some of them are borrowed from other people, like media or friends or whatever, or the internet. Some of them are our own. So just be a garden of your mind, like Robin Sharma is saying in The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Be a garden of your own, a gardener of your own garden. Be a guardian of your garden. Okay, which means obviously the garden is your mind and all the plants that you have in your mind. The habits are obviously being focused, being connected, doing the right things, doing presentations, you know, even when you don't want to do them, you know, and not allow yourself to be discouraged by the failures. You know, the failures are pushing you to success. How do I keep the motivation? I told you earlier. Actually, you know what? There are many questions. Sally, I will allow you guys to choose the last one, whatever you think is the best one, because I see they keep coming and you never stop.
My last question is going to be the best one for you to answer. So, you know, Razvan, what I do want to say to the people on this call is that 2 years ago, when Quad IMD, Sash and Governor phoned me up and said, Sal, will you start doing a team call every Sunday? And Andrew and I didn't know anything about podcasts or Zoom or anything like that. So when we first started doing these calls to everyone on the call, Andrew used to start sweating. He used to get anxious. He used to spend 3 days trying to work out the questions. And, you know, there were many times we messed up. And now, 2 years later, doing these calls is the same as brushing our teeth every day. So what you do consistently becomes normal and natural to you, and it becomes part of your daily habit. So one of the things that we learned from Razvan is we didn't know how to do affirmations. And Andrew and I we were going for breakfast with Razvan, and Andrew said, Razvan, how do you do affirmations? And Razvan said, you need to call into your life and speak about it as though it's already happened. So we know that we are already international marketing directors. The back office just needs to catch up. So Razvan, I want to thank you for that conversation that we had at breakfast the one morning. And the members on this call, this is the last question. Get your pens and your book out, because you definitely want to take this one nugget from International Marketing Director Razvan. So a lot of people are feeling stuck in their WorldVentures business and they just can't seem to get things going. And we know that a lot of the time we become our own worst enemy because we make ourselves become stuck. So what are your final thoughts that you want to leave us with, Razvan, to speak to those members to sort of reaffirm their why and know that quitting is not an option?
Yeah, it is a profound question.
I told you this was a goodie.
Yeah. So to get back to what you were saying regarding the affirmations, I kept having people like you, like what affirmations to make and how to create my own affirmations. And actually, it's an amazing book that I recommend to you. It's written by Shad Helmstetter, It's called What Do You Say When You Talk to Yourself? But then I have a program. He has a program now that I'm just using it, that I found out that it's an amazing tool. It's selftalkplus.com. It's a website, selftalkplus.com. It's created by Dr. Chet Humstetter. He's one of the best in the world on programming. Actually, Wayne is also our founder. Is also recommending this book. And Byron Sharog and many other leaders. So in this website, Self Talk Plus, he made a series of affirmations. There are 15 minutes a day affirmations. Okay, I will post the link, but it's if someone can write it, please, selftalkplus.com. It's impossible not to find it. Actually, it's for free for 1-2 months or something. I don't remember well. And then it has a very small subscription, but it's an amazing tool. It has affirmations for everything, for family, for life, for everything you can imagine. And there are 15 minutes affirmation. You can listen in the morning or in the night. And some of them are especially for network marketing. And even, I found out a few months ago, and obviously I've been going through this personal development process for more than 10 years. But then even when I started hearing them, it kind of, obviously when you're an IMD, and you apply a lot of things because that's how you become an IMD. But then either that you are not aware about some things or you forget applying some things, right? It doesn't matter what level you are. So this program, I think it's very helpful at the beginning, and then it doesn't matter the level you have, to remind yourself about some daily thoughts and habits that are very useful. What to say when you talk to yourself, what kind of affirmations you have. And then regarding to the last part of your question, Sally, like, how do you stay motivated, and especially about quitting? And I want to be vulnerable and honest, as vulnerable and honest with you guys as possible. I've seen a lot of people quitting in WorldVentures. I've seen, new people quit after 1 hour, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year. I saw senior reps quitting. I saw directors quitting. I even saw people at the last level quitting, or thinking the grass is greener or in another company or something like this. And I had some very good friends that unfortunately left WorldVentures. And what I want to say is that human mind can be an amazing tool, or it can be a great enemy. And I'm not saying that we are perfect in WorldVentures by any means, but I do believe there is something special happening with this company, and I could have quit so many times. I had many hard times in WorldVentures, and I had all kinds of offers to leave to other companies and giving me money and coins, and obviously it was at this level, it was very easy to do it and very attractive, right? And some of these offers came from very good friends, which is even, it's like, in the Bible with the serpent and the apple, So when I'm talking to you, I'm talking as a soul. I'm not talking as an IMD, because you will be hit and you will be distracted and you will be, you'll have moments when you'll doubt yourself. You'll have moments when you doubt the company. You'll have moments when you doubt the leadership in Africa. You'll have moments when you'll doubt that you will ever be able to succeed. And there are so many factors that will contribute to that. And one of the things I want to share with you is that you will have these factors even when you move outside WorldVentures. Whatever you will do in your life, it doesn't matter if you, Andrew, for example, he's amazing in ski jets. Actually, he's a champion there, and he's doing some crazy stuff. He was showing me videos when I went there, and that's very dangerous, right? You can literally kill yourself if the ski jet jumps on your head or something like that. And that's why a lot of people don't do it. They get discouraged by that. But again, it's about what's going on in your heart. And one of the questions that have helped me, Sally, Andrew, and I'm talking to all of you, is that when I have pressure, it doesn't matter what kind of pressure I have, financial pressure, or I have people that quit, or people that don't join WorldVentures, or it doesn't matter. I'm talking to you, no matter what level you are right now in the business, you'll have pressure, and I promise you. And that's why most of the people break because of that pressure. So in that moment, whatever the pressure is, I'm asking myself a question. Razvan, what would you feel about WorldVentures, and what would you feel about your mission in WorldVentures or your future in WorldVentures if it wouldn't be for this pressure, right? What would you do different? What would you do if you're not frustrated? What would you do if you wouldn't be upset with someone? What would you do if that person wouldn't quit? What would you do if actually you had 3 IMDs right now, another 3 IMDs. What would you do if whatever happened, but something else positive would have happened in your life, right? Something that I know I can influence. So for example, unfortunately, I had the marketing director quitting, and I love them. They're amazing people. They just had anyway, I don't want to get into that. They want to build their own network marketing company, and they just signed up in network marketing last year. So anyway, I wish them all the best, and I love them. They're amazing people. They obviously don't realize what it takes to build a network marketing company. And instead of, partnering up with one of the best companies there right there in the world, like WorldVentures. But I'm just giving you an example because it affected me, it affected me personally. I really love them. I believed in them, and we spent lots of time together. And it affected me financially. They were in my pay leg, so I lost 500-600 people in a few weeks. So there are things that are happening like this, and I want to be honest and vulnerable with you, right? Because the things that you have, even if you are new and you are just starting your business this week, there are some things that will happen even later, and the factors might be different, but the mindset and the internal fortitude and strength is the same. So what I'm asking myself, okay, these people left, but Razvan, what would happen right now if you would have 2-3 new marketing directors, amazing people, quality people with great character that will join your business and will become amazing leaders? How much will it be affected in the next 6 months if this would happen? And it was like, it wouldn't matter so much if I start to think about it, right? So it's about your choice to, first of all, keep following your heart and your dreams and your goals, and keep believing, just have faith. One of the hardest things, although you keep hearing is have faith, have faith. It just sounds like, like a quote, but it's not about that, because you have the choice, and it's harder to choose to have faith than it is to be frustrated or to fly away. The hardest thing is to have faith and to stay loyal. First of all, loyal to you, loyal to your goals, your dreams, your heart, right? And then all the time is about, what can I do to move beyond this frustration? Why is this experience happening in my life? What can I learn from it? And how can I move forward? When I had my hard time, Sally, Andrew, I just chose to believe in Wayne, our founder. I chose to believe in the vision of this company. Even when things were well or were not well, I chose to believe in the fact that I can create a lot of impact with this company in a lot of lives. And I'm grateful. When I'm saying I'm grateful and honored to be with you guys tonight, I'm with all my heart. Because, you all came from your countries. We don't even know each other, most of us. And you choose to invest a few tens of minutes of your life spending to, actually, we were planned to finish earlier, but you asked me for a Q&A. So, and I'm grateful to be able to, from Bucharest, online, to be able to say something that might impact your life. And, I'm honored, and it makes me cry, because I told you my story. I lost my dad. I moved to Bucharest with 100 euros. So I went to a lot of challenges. So the honor that this company gave me to be able to touch people's lives in a positive way, I don't take it for granted. And I keep my loyalty to this vision of what I can do in WorldVentures and how many lives I can impact, and I choose to believe, I choose to have faith. So I do hope with all my heart that you will choose to be loyal to your goals, to your dreams, to your heart, to your friends, to your vision. And hopefully you will get there. It's a process. It takes time. You'll go to a lot of frustration, a lot of pain, a lot of no's, a lot of rejection. But along the way, the journey that you'll have, which is you and your evolution, will be maybe the most amazing thing you can create in this life. So I hope that concluded our meeting. And you, Sally, thank you guys for your beautiful heart. Thank you for doing these calls. It's amazing how much impact is creating in Africa, and not only for all the people that are watching you. Keep doing it. And I cannot wait to see all of you guys somewhere in a dream trip, in an international event around the world. So thank you. Have a beautiful evening, and I will see you soon.
Thank you, Razvan. And, I'm just looking at all the comments right now, and I promise you, it's just going nuts, as you can see the chat bar. So thank you so much for giving such impact back to us and adding such value.
And just very quickly, guys, Razvan, we will WhatsApp you the recording of this call. It is going to be posted in the next 30 minutes on the Building for Success YouTube channel. Now, this call has been so impactful that I'm going to ask you, get all your friends to watch this video, make it go viral, because we want to thank Razvan from our heart to yours once again. You've just made Andrew and I feel all goosebumps and inspired and just so grateful. that we connected and met you. So we are really blessed to have you in our life.
Thank you, Razvan.
Take care, everybody.
Appreciate you, brother. Thanks
Good
for the call.
night.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Have a beautiful evening. Bye.
Thank you. Cheers. Thanks, guys. That's a wrap for today. Take care. See you on the next Sunday.